Alright, it's time for the next part. Might as well show these off right now. As you can see, compared to yesterday's 9 vehicles, we have a total of 17 regular vehicles that citizens would drive normally. Compared to the first part, this one's going to be pretty short. I know there's more vehicles than there was in the first part, but yeah, that's pretty much it. We're just going to start off with the 4-stud vehicles first. Starting off with this tan. I know Lego calls this tan, but like it's beige. It looks very beige or sand colored. I like to call this the beige and black car. Maybe I will call it the black and tan thing as a reference to that Clone High episode. But like, yeah, that's pretty much it. There's black here for the license plate. Same thing as the taxi. In fact, this was built before the taxi, and yeah, there's that. It's just this, and this is actually just a different variant of this other car that I built, which is a mostly red one, which was, again, built before the taxi, using the same, both of these using the same designs, but different color schemes, and this one having a red and gray hue to it to match the patterns, even having a gray license plate. And yeah, that's pretty much it for both of these, so I'll get those two out of the way. Next up is another one of my favorite ones because, again, it just looks cool. This is a little Kit Bash hot rod that I had put together, and I kind of based it off of the Ford Model A, which this was actually because I was trying to build a Ford Model T and I didn't really have the right amount of pieces, so I decided to make a Model A-like car. So I'll put this one back on the shelf now and show you this little white car that I had made. And I made this little white car because I had these 2 white hood pieces, and I decided I just wanted to make a little small compact car for one person. There's supposed to be like a little thing up there, and it doesn't really have any front or back lights, very much anything. It's just a very plain looking white car with a black underside or undercarriage, and uses these unique tire or wheel designs that I like because of how simple they look. And that's pretty much it for this. Here's another one with a similar chassis to how the small little the small little off-road vehicle from the last video looked, and instead it's more down to earth, much more not off-road vehicle like. It's supposed to be like a little red and white convertible, and I didn't really have red or yellow transparent pieces for headlights, so I just used these silver pieces, these silver studs. I still think it looks pretty funny though, so I kept it like that, and that's pretty much it. And on to this one, we have another Kit Bash just made from random pieces. I wanted to make this one because I wanted something to go with the hot rod, so I made this goofy little yellow car, yellow and gray, with the highlights and everything. And again, like all the other, like a majority of the 4-stud vehicles I made, it can only seat one person, which leads me on to this car, which is a little pizza delivery car, which again was Kit Bashed and made with random pieces. And let me get the camera to focus real quick, just the light. And just like that, just use these for the grill and the headlights with the pieces again, and that, and it's supposed to look all scratched up, so I used some bricks with some little ink stains on them to make it look like scratches. And yes, this little guy in here is supposed to be Pepper from the Lego Island games. And I'm just gonna put this back in. Sorry if these vehicles look a little dusty, by the way. I have been keeping them in storage for a while, as a lot of the videos I'm making don't really require vehicles most of the time. But here's another one that's also made using a similar chassis to the Storm Chaser car, and it also uses a printed front too, and it has red tiles on the back for the backlights. This is a 2-seater car, just like the Storm Chaser vehicle, but it's not a Storm Chaser vehicle. It's just a little roofless car. It uses a similar back to that red and gray car that I showed earlier in this video, and I'm going to try and show it off a little better. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It has these little slopes on the backs for seats and a little extended windshield, just like the other 4 studs. And now we can send this one on our way to the shelf. So, for the last 9 cars in this video, I've decided to put them in 3 different categories. That being ones with roofs, and ones without roofs, and miscellaneous. We're going to start off with miscellaneous, with this unique little car, not really based on anything. Well, it kind of is based on something. It's based off of the, it's an old mod for Grand Theft Auto San Andreas from back in the day called the Lego Car Mod. I think it's called the Lego Car Mod. The design is based off of it, and I don't know what this little thing means, but I got it in a Minecraft set. And I just put it there because it kind of looks like a little license plate thing. It has these little fins on the back. It's got this little blue bumper up here with a little hood ornament thing. And that, right there, that was based off of Luke's land speeder thing with those little grill pieces on there. Has a windshield, and the front can sit 2 people, and you can sit like 4 people in the back, but I chose to sit too many figures here. And it has a color scheme, and a little fun fact, this car is probably one of my oldest Lego cars I've made. It is a remake of the original Lego car that the original version of this that I built back in 2017, so it has more of a grayish tone to it compared to the last one, which had a very bluish gray tone with white highlights at the back instead of with like red and white highlights at the back and front instead of the gray ones. But yeah, either way, no matter how many times I rebuild this car, the results are always going to come out funny looking. So yeah, there's this cool car, and we got the miscellaneous out of the way, so let's go on to the roofless cars. Here we have a blue compact car. I don't know how to describe a compact car, so I'm just going to call it cars that are small and can usually only seat 2 people. This is a little compact blue car with a blue windshield and a blue front and a blue back, with the little headlights being under and the headlights for the front being up here, with this cool hood pattern matching the these cool pieces. Hang on, let me adjust the camera. These cool pieces right here, and you just place them on there, and now you can send the car with the cool white seats on its way. Here's another one. I call this one the I don't know what to call this one. I've tried to come up with names for it. I call this one, I'm just going to call it the junk car, because it was made out of a lot of old junk pieces that I just had lying around. That's what I call pieces that I have lying around and somewhat don't have a use for. I call them junk pieces. So I decided, hey, fuck it. I'm going to just build a junk car. And I did just that by using these pieces and these pieces to make it look like they have doors that can be openable in some scenes. Whenever I decide to film this car, at least, or put it to use in videos, it can seat 2 people, and yes, these people do have suspicious plans. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Sometimes sorry for the camera thing, sometimes it can go out of focus for some reasons, but yeah, either way, that was the junk car, I guess. And here's another one. This one's a little dusty. This was one that was made on the spot because I needed more variety in the car colors, as I was getting sick of the red, white, and blue colored cars. So I decided to go with a much more black car, of course putting in some blue highlights, because why not? The black wheels really do help, and the big piece underneath to hold everything together is another favorite of mine. And unlike most 6-stud cars, this one has little fins that jut out to the side. Yeah, unlike most 6-stud cars that I built. And that's pretty much it. It's got this bumper that's stuck on with this, which is probably one of my favorite little building methods to use these pieces for. And just pop them on, and just like all the others, you send them back to the shelf.